Hi, welcome back to another video. Sound Somatic, Sean Burke here. This is Men's Mental Health Week. Massive, important. I know guys out there struggle with emotions, their feelings, and also self-care. Self-care is massive. The biggest thing I can say about self-care is so many things. Your diet, gym, your nails, your hair, your body, your appearance. All these things are important, which make you feel good in yourself, how you feel in yourself, the way you talk to yourself, and also the people that you surround yourself with as well, which is very important. It amplifies who you are in the world out there. Even when you go to the gym, the way you look, how you present yourself is a creation, what you make yourself, and the way you mold yourself, the way you want it to be when you're around other people, which it can form in a relationship, you can form into work, and how you conduct yourself as well. But all this stems from your belief system, from the age of when you're born. You literally, your mum, your dad, and where you start to grow up, and also what the parts of how your environment was, if it was chaotic or if it was abusive, or your dad was shouting at your mom, or vice versa. So that alters that, because what happens is you see the lens of how your dad responds, and you're like a sponge. You soak up everything what your dad does, and you mirror what your dad does. So through adult life, as you grow up and you start to form relationships, and you start to form other people, that plays out in a different way, where subconsciously the part of the brain then starts to remember the parts of how your dad responds, and then how your dad teaches you, and how your mom is, but mainly with your dad. So when that starts to play out, and you start to talk to people, and how your dad shows you how to do things and doesn't express and doesn't talk, because that would have come from his dad going to your dad itself. So whether, like, prime example, my dad, rest his soul, how he was taught from his dad, and then it just went from there to me, and it's to the point where you have to really capture that and understand why this occurs, which it does take time to rewire the brain to understand the behaviours, which, again, I said before, we learn, we're a sponge. It's now different when you're at school, it's now different when you're learning things, if it's school, college, and you're speaking to a teacher or whatever it is. But when it comes to your dad, that's the caregiver. The caregiver is basically the masculine, but also it teaches you from having boundaries and being secure in yourself. But also at the same time, when you're an adult and it's not the way it looks that way, you start to have self-doubt, self-belief in yourself. So these things start from how you present yourself. Go to the gym, look after your body. Your body's your temple. Eat well, eat the right food. Now look good in yourself, like how you present yourself as well. Take these step by step. And also there will be uncomfortable times when you start to alter these things, and where you feel, should I have these things? Because should I wear nice clothes? Don't ever think that, because at the end of the day, you deserve the best. It's only because of the environment that you was in made you feel that way, and it was very chaotic in that aspect. And because of the upbringing, your mum and your dad, especially, brought you in the world in a way where what he knew back then, and it's just the fact is, from then onwards, from that generation, it's just the fact you have to alter a few things, because you are the version that you want to be as a person. Because I feel that this transition of moving forward and understanding men's mental health and understanding men, we don't connect enough. We don't connect enough to the point where we don't express, we don't talk to each other, we push our feelings to the ground, and we just carry on every day like nothing's ever happened. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. All you do is amplifying that, and all you do is put that into the box to the point where you don't really express, you don't really talk, you shut down, you have outbursts, you snap at people, you push people away. This is why it's important to check in with a friend as well. Someone who knows you, somebody who really gets to see your lows and ups and downs and be there for you at the same time. And then also, in yourself the things what you need to work on yourself as well. Because at the end of the day, listen guys, every day is a learning curve. Every day is a part of growth and changing the things that you want to change. These are the things where it stops from now. You live in the moments in the life that you want things to be the way you want it to be. Don't live in fear, because that's the part where, when we was younger, we lived in that moments of fear because of what we've been taught, which again doesn't help. Sorry about that, I've got a bit of a cough, but it doesn't help. So you've got to understand where you want to be in your own life, how you feel in yourself. It's about how you feel in yourself, and you have to tell your brain how you feel in yourself. And of course there'll be moments will flash back in your brain where what you've been taught, what you've been said, and you might go back into default mode, but just keep plodding along, keep putting the things in what you need for yourself, because that's how the brain soaks up and learns, and it'll play out what you would remember when you was younger. But doesn't mean, yes, you remember them things, but doesn't mean it stays there to the point where it fixed, that you can't alter that. Yes, you can have the parts when you're younger, but also as an adult you can paint the picture, the life that you want to be, because that's what we all deserve really, at the end of the day, like massively. And even like guys, like lads, speak up, talk to each other, whatever that is. If you're going to cry or get upset, doesn't matter, because at least it's out there, you're speaking to someone, than having to find out you don't speak to someone, or it doesn't help because you've trapped everything inside, your nervous system is on red alert, and you shut down and you isolate yourself. This is addictions coming, food, drink, and these are the things that you can put in place, like I said before, with the dieting, and then also making sure that your parents, and if you need support, you make sure that you get the support, the right support. And also, as myself, being a somatic sound healer coach, I will guide you in the right way, in the ways where having the right diet, your belief system, your values, and your goal sets and your mindset, and also having a long-term plan and to visualize where you need to be as well, which is very important, because on that path you'll see the changes. You won't see the changes straight away, but over due time you will see the changes, because it takes time for the changes to happen. Over the 21 days, but you have to be consistent, having a routine and doing these implemented things slowly, day by day, day by day, day by day, and eventually it'll start to change. Even with your body, the way you look, your physique, the way you speak, the way you talk, and also at the same time is the people you surround yourself with as well, which is very important, because who you surround yourself with shows the circle of people you want to move in that direction, with success for work, good memories, travelling, all those little things, which is like a massive package, which I see it as. And going back to self-care, always do self-care, check in, make sure you put something in place. If it's every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, whatever works for you, which I feel is important. Reading books is massive. I'll put that out on the page, which books to look at, which is very important. The nervous system, the mind, the body. So all these things will help to kind of slowly transit from, that transition, but also knowing that the guidance is there for myself, because I know from hand where I've done those steps, those stages with the self-care, when it comes to meditation, the gym, massage, cupping, whatever that, it looks different for other people. You got to bear that in mind. So whether it works for me, it'll probably work for someone else. But also at the same time is, the sessions that I will, introduce, but also at the same time is the check-ins that I will, when it comes to the session, where we sit down and talk for the hour, but also the check-ins every week for 10 to 15 minutes when I talk to you about the things that your progression, where you are and where you're at that moment. But going back to men's mental health, even now the month's coming to an end, yes, we're going to July, doesn't mean we stop. we look after each other every day, and we make time for each other and make sure that we reach out for each other, because that's very, very, very important to do that, because I believe we all need each other, you know, any form of shape of knowing that our lives can be hard. But ladies, reach out to your man, you know, if they need support or to talk or to release anything they are struggling with as well, which is very important. And also you can come to me as well if you need any support for, you know, for the men in your relationship as well, because I know, you know, men's mental health, especially when it comes to stress and the struggles and not, you know, understanding to express their feelings, because probably back then when I was younger, we never had the, you know, our fathers to help us to open up and, you know, the emotions that we struggle with, and to understand. We've always been taught to be quiet and not talk, and we can stop all that. So the things we can talk and say to ourselves, I'm okay, I'm safe, and this is an affirmation I can talk about. I'm okay, I'm safe, and I've got good people around me, and I can express my feelings in a deep way whenever I need to, which is very important. And also you even give yourself a reminder, put a reminder in your phone, a friend that's close to you, and you check in at least once a week, see how you're getting on, so you can release. At least that way you're in a safe space. And even DM me, talk to me as well. I've got multiple books, the sessions, the breath work, the FT tapping, the Reiki, the somatic healing. All those things are very, very powerful, very nurturing to the mind, to the body, to the soul, which I'm very happy to introduce to help you all out there. So whenever you get a chance. Also, from next month, I have to say, me and Jenna will be doing a video, but I'll let you know the date for that video when it comes, okay? Thank you again, much appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.